Welcome to Ithlía, an insignificant world on the edge of the known universe. The peoples of Ithlía aren't bothered by what happens amongst the stars. Unless one falls, and then they wonder, what did those people do to anger their gods so much that they were destroyed? This world has not been blessed with a wealth of magic. Indeed, it seems like only a fair few have found the ability within them, most of whom were born with it, a gift of the gods, or beings of evil, granting the mercurial power unto mortals. Looking at Ithlía, it's looking at two opposites making the sphere. Where once the eastern continent of Dadakum was fertile and thriving, it is now all red, yellow, smelling of decay, full of rot, avarice, murder, and evil. The ancient and ongoing war amongst the gods of Dadakum has bereft the continent and its peoples of this peace, as well as of 6 of the 8 elder gods. Now just 2 nations, Goliaths and giants, their gods, Onagamin and Dumaru, and their slaves remain. The Darkak giants and the Thakodian Goliaths have been warring for generations, the product of the millennia-long conflict amongst the gods. But our story doesn't start there. For Dadakum is vicious, corrupt, dead and dying. The western continent of Miris is green, blue, white, lush, and vibrant, balanced. The north and much of the eastern part of Miris is covered by the impossibly tall, ever snow-capped mountains of the Iron Peaks. The incredible forages of Farawarn in the north supply the continent with blacksmiths, weapons, and tools. In the eastern range of the peaks stands Avenheim, secluded and singular, home to a race of giants, worshippers of the god of war, Aton. Towards the west lies the small mining city of Clord, manned mostly by dwarves blessed with the love of the mountains, and their little child goddess of trickery, Brytix. Some in this frigid north once paid homage to the mysterious god of light, Solast, or the volatile goddess of the storm, Otix. But they have long since shifted their allegiance. In the shadow of the peaks are the plains of Eldoria, the ancestral home of High Elvendom, with delicate buildings and a great library built into an even greater tree upon an island. This center of learning and its god of knowledge, Kozan, are not known for passion or joy, but for logic, cynicism, and cold calculations. In the absolute center of Miris stands the capital, Carcadia. Carcadia is merely the largest city on the continent and stays out of the way of the more industrious regions as long as everyone is supplied with necessary goods. Of late, something has stirred here within its depths. A being observing this land from miles above would see off the coast of Miris a great bank of fog and clouds. If one were to sail through that mist, they would be met with the idyllic Isle of Bascan, home to an ancient family serving Photis, god of death. South of Bascan and hidden from the mainland is West Portic, the western pirate city, a hub of villainy and yet joy. As we come back to the mainland, we soar over the true gem of this entire world, the South, a patchwork of life, of vibrancy. On the southern coast are Iagos and Iagan, known for trade and fishing. Iagan, the merchant capital of this continent, is dedicated to the harvest goddess Kinya. Their corn growing 15 feet tall, the pumpkins 6 feet round, the apples more crisp and sweet than you can imagine. Kinya and the eldest of the sister gods and bringer of life Atta join forces to make this land rich, fertile, and luscious. But I will say, it is the grapes. Grapes the size of your fist that are perfect to eat, but better for wine. Along the quasi-border that separates the southern region from the rest of the continent stands the village of Free. Free is known for its blood-red grapes that make a deep purple wine that the locals simply call free wine. The rest of the continent calls it heaven sent. Due to this incredible export, the village of Free could become a thriving metropolis rivaling Carcadia, but the people here prefer the quiet, humble life. Except once a year for Quiñala, the week-long harvest festival. For you see, it is actually magic that makes the crops in the south so extraordinary. Magic made by the protector, supported by the earth of Quiña and Atta. This protector returns once a year at Quiñala, visiting every single village, taking just a small morsel of food and reinvigorating the magic that makes everything grow so well. It is for this reason that so many strangers come to Free. For our story begins the eve of the first day of the festival, and the protector always makes Free his first stop. Who wouldn't want to try to sneak a peek, shake his hand, or get his blessing? Our story begins here, in Free. Will you join us?